Yeah.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir. A very good evening to eminent dignitaries, Honorable Chancellor Ma'am, Mrs. Ruchi Singh Chauhan, Honorable Pro-Chancellor Sir, Dr. Daulat Singh Chauhan, Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Professor Dr. S.S. Bakar Sir, Honorable Pro-Vice Chancellor Sir, Professor Santosh Kishan Narayan Khedkar Sir, Honorable guests and Emeritus Professor R. Srinivasan Sir from IISc Bangalore, respected Registrar Sir Dr. Omveer Singh, respected Dean Academics Professor Ranjit Singh Tomar, worthy Deans and HODs of various departments of ITM University Gwalior, faculty members and dear students. On behalf of the organizing committee, I, Shahid Amin from School of Management, feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all gathered here in the 19th Wisdom Lecture under Industry Cell ITM University Gwalior. Dear friends, the need of the time is to take the educational institutions and the organizations to the next level, and it is not possible without the quality research. With this consideration, the topic has been decided as rational for research. I would like to invite Dr. Ratan Kumar Jain sir, Dean Industry and Interaction, ITM University Gwalior, for a welcome address.
Thank you
Over to
very
you,
much.
sir.
Shahid, thank you very much.
Pleasure, sir.
Now, I, Dr. R.K. Jain, Dean, Industry Interaction and Consultancy, ITM University Gwalior, really feels proud to take this opportunity to welcome all dignitaries. Our Honorable Founder Chancellor, Shri Ramashankar ji, Honorable Chancellor Madam, Mrs. Ruchi Singh Chauhan ji, Pro-Chancellor Sir, Dr. Daulat Singh Chauhan, VC Sir, Professor S.S. Bakar, Pro-VC Sir, Professor S.K. Narayan Khedkar, Registrar Sir, Dr. Omveer Singh ji, all deans of various schools and heads of various departments, directors, eminent speakers, and members present on this 19th online Wisdom Lecture organized by University Industry Cell today on 20th of the June. Today, it is my real pleasure and honor to welcome our eminent guest, Professor Srinivasan R., the Emeritus Professor, Department of Management Studies, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He holds a doctoral degree in management fellowship program from the Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore, after his basic degree and postgraduate qualification in engineering. He had his postdoctoral training in the University of Leeds, UK. He has more than 40 years of experience in both academia and industry, having served in some of the reputed organizations in country like Tata Consulting Engineers, Administrative Staff College of India, and National Institute of Training in Industrial Engineering. He has also served on the board of several assisted companies. He is a visiting faculty and examiner in many reputed institutes in the country. He is having more than 200 publications in leading international and national journals and has authored more than 9 books. He is also recipient of number of awards, notably the International Statistical Institute Award and Colombo Plan Award 1989. He has a distinction of contributing to the advertising in India in the Reader Advertising Worldwide by Springer International, Germany 2000. He has good exposure of all aspects of project management, in addition to management, research, teaching, training, and consultancy. He is consulted regularly by well-known national bodies, including the UPSC, ISRO, and Defense. His current interests are basically in developing strategic policy initiative and strategic marketing. I welcome all faculty and staff, media person, design cell, ERP cell, who has contributed in the success of this lecture. Finally, I welcome all dear students for whom we have been organizing wisdom lectures for exploring the developments in the industry and academia. I have fervent hope that our all students, faculty, and staff shall positively be enlightened by the words of wisdom of our expert speaker. Welcome one, welcome all. Over to you, Shahid. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Professor Jain, sir, for introducing our eminent guest for today's session and for your welcome address. It is my great pleasure to invite our eminent Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Dr. S.S. Bakar, sir, for the opening remarks. Over to you, respected sir.
Thank you, Dr. Said. First of all, I take this opportunity to welcome Honorable Professor R. Srinivasan, Department of Management Studies, Indian Institute of Science, IISc, Bangalore. It's a great opportunity for all of us to listen to Professor R. Srinivasan, who has more than 40 years of experience in the field. And the topic for today is absolutely right for a person of that eminence, rationale for research. Why should research be done? If you look at the topic, we need to look at why research should be done by the faculty members and why students should indulge in good research. So if you look at faculty, the books would give you something that happened maybe 10 years back in the industry. So in practical field, when something happens, it comes into textbooks after 8 to 10 years. Because first the research would be done, the phenomena will be understood properly, it gets converted into say concept, and then it comes into textbooks, takes time. And if you only teach through textbooks, then what you teach is probably 8 to 10 years old. And maybe the book was published 10 years back. That means you're teaching something that happened 20 years back. Now, keeping that in mind, it is important that the faculty members indulge in research so that they are in touch with, they are in tune with what is happening in the field that they are supposed to be teaching in the classroom. So they can bring new concepts, something that they've learned through their research in the classroom. In fact, a faculty member who is deeply involved in research will more likely ensure that a lot of deliberations, a lot of interaction happens in the class between the students and the faculty and between students as well. Whereas a faculty who has little research to his credit would generally restrict himself to the text that he is prepared for teaching and would be hesitating in opening up because of the lack of understanding of what is happening currently in the area that he is covering in the classroom. And that is why I often say that a teacher without research is a classroom operator and not a real teacher in real sense. So a research is absolutely important for teachers. It is as important for students as well to understand the area that they're studying deeper. I mean, practical nuances, etc. They can understand only through research, be it lab-based research, experimental, both field or lab, or even review papers would teach you a lot. So it is important that students also indulge in research. It will also help them in decorating their resume, and their candidature would be more than acceptable in the industry when they apply for job in industry. So it is absolutely important that we all teachers as well as students remain, we should devote time to carry out proper research with properly identified areas using proper tools so that the research is properly done, but in scientific way. But it is important that we do indulge in research and do not believe that what is written, or do not only depend on what has come into textbooks and prepare based on textbooks and deliver it in the classroom. So with that, since we have an expert today, I don't want to take more time. I don't want to be between the expert and the audience. So with that, I finish my discussion, and I'm sure by the time Professor R. Srinivasan completes his discourse, we will all be more informed about why a teacher or student should carry out research. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, esteemed sir, for your thought-provoking words. Let me inform our eminent Vice Chancellor, sir, is also a renowned expert in the field of research. Thank you, sir. Okay. With utmost respect, I request our eminent guest, Professor R. Srinivasan, sir, to deliver a lecture. Dear participants, you are requested to write your queries in the chat box, and we'll request our eminent guest to take those at the end of the session. Over to you, respected sir.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Thank you very much. All the good words said about me. Okay. So it's very nice to be speaking to all of you, all the dignitaries of ITM Gwalior. So it was a very hectic day today, right, in the institute, with the Honorable Prime Minister being in attendance in the morning. Okay. So now I'm a little free to discuss on this topic. Let us now get into this. This is something. This is a topic which has been exercising my mind. So for several years, why do you want to do research? This is the type of thing which I many times used to wonder, right from the 70s onwards. So now when you are in the 2022 also, I find that this is current. So I penned down some of my thoughts, what I got in few slides. What I am putting across to you is a summary version of what I thought about this over the so many years. So if you look at research in India, some few questions crop up. What is the type of questions? Is it a serious pursuit, or is it a routine ritual? Which is dominant? What is a mix? Being from the Institute of Science, the main focus in the institute is research. Okay. So in fact, if you just looked at some of the ratings, the institute has got 100 out of 100 in research in the world rankings. In fact, it is topping the whole table in research in the world. So this is, so what is that atmosphere which makes you to go into research? This is basically the type of questions which many times exercise the mind of a researcher. Now, earlier when I was doing research, it was not required for a faculty member to be a PhD holder. It was not a necessity. Even a master's degree holder, sometimes I've seen even graduate degree holders being taken as lecturers in the institute. So talking about 40 years back. Now, over that period, now if you look at present trends, most of the universities are requiring their faculty members to get a doctoral degree. when they are wanting them to get a doctoral degree, it is expected that they do some research. So in the light of that, these questions, is research a serious pursuit or is it a routine ritual? What do you mean by that routine ritual? Oh, I have to stay in the job. Let me somehow do something in this research, get rid of this thing. So if it is a serious pursuit, that is